Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Super Mario Bros. Yes, folks. Super Mario Bros. Is available to purchase on PC through the Microsoft Store. How is this possible? Why, a Chinese company named Fen Wang Studio has released a game in China and in the US called Lep's Craft World. And it's a clever way to disguise what is Super Mario Brothers from the NES. And we're drawing attention to this, one, because this shouldn't happen. So hopefully Nintendo maybe takes a little notice by the more attention this gets. And because I'd rather talk about this than talk about Soulja Boy, that everyone else seems to be focusing on right now, because he has taken down all of the consoles from his website, because it appears that Nintendo has sent a cease and desist letter. That's great and everything, but duh, we knew this was happening, and if he didn't take it down, Nintendo would press charges. So I'd rather talk about Lep's Craft World. For starters, this does draw into question a few things, and I think we have these questions about Nintendo as well. And that is, what exactly are the quality control measures for the Microsoft Store, the PlayStation Network Store, and the Nintendo eShop that could allow such a game to release on that platform, especially in the US? China's a little bit different, because in China, they have different laws, and it's a lot harder for Nintendo to try to sniff out and stop these things. But here in the US, to see this game released and currently available on the Microsoft PC Store is a bit baffling, because you're supposed to have quality control measures, or at least we have an expectation of quality control measures to be in place that have to manually approve of games that release on your platform. And to see what is literally a ROM dump of the Super Mario Brothers from the NES, disguised as Lep's Craft World from Fen Wang Studio out of China, releasing in the US, is a problem. It's a problem that shows that Microsoft is not properly curating their store. Now, some people have questioned Nintendo's curation methods, because there are certain games that come out on Switch that aren't this. They don't really have copyright infringing, blatant rip-off games like this. These are the kind of games you would sometimes find on Android, although even on Android, a lot of times they get sniffed out of the Google Play Store and stuff like that. Even after they do appear there, they're quickly taken down and taken care of. This is still live as of at least the time of recording this. Microsoft hasn't taken it down. I'm sure just because it's in the middle of the night, they might eventually go and just sniff it out and blast it away. But I just think this is a really interesting thing here, especially in wake of the fact that Nintendo's actually has this particular game available through the Nintendo Switch Online service. So they're currently putting it in something they charge money for, which just makes Nintendo protecting the copyright for it an even bigger deal. So I actually just want to kind of throw this out to you guys and get your guys' thoughts on this, on how you think this happened. And obviously, to me, this just means that Microsoft is just looking at thumbnails, title names, and then obviously a unique developer for releasing games, and they're not actually loading the game up to see what it is. To me, this is a basic measure. Even if I don't have any expectation of Microsoft, Nintendo, or Sony to actually play through all of these games, I do expect them to at least load them up, to at least verify they're not just illegal ROMs, because otherwise, how are you going to verify it? You know, if all they send you is a thumbnail and a title, I mean, how do you know the thing even runs on the platform? And what's even funnier is on Lep's Craft World, when you scroll down to the screenshot area, it shows screenshots of Super Mario Brothers. It's blatantly, openly admitting that it is an illegal ROM, selling, by the way, for $2, $1.99 on Xbox and the Microsoft Store. Obviously, again, in China, this is expected behavior, and I'm not surprised that this Fen Wang Studio did this in China. But the fact that they got away with releasing it in the US is very, very interesting, and Nintendo should be pretty upset, not just at Fen Wang Studio for breaking copyright law here in the US, but at Microsoft for allowing this game to even be on their store. Now, I don't think this is going to sour relationships between Microsoft and Nintendo, who have seemingly been getting along a bit better over the past couple of years. But I do think that it's obviously something where Nintendo's going to get on the phone and be like, hey, Phil Spencer, this can't happen. Take it down now. Don't make us have to like send you a cease and desist letter or any of that stuff. I don't think any of that's necessary. What is necessary, though, is that Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo do need to do a better job of curating their stores. And this is just one of the worst examples of letting something completely illegal slip through the cracks. And I know this could happen anywhere. Nintendo could be fooled too. A game could boot up that starts as something, and then 5 minutes in, you could do like a button combo and then access an illegal ROM. It's entirely possible that that could get by Nintendo too. But this is even more blatant. You just boot up the game and it's just straight up Mario Brothers. There's no attempt to hide what this is. Again, screenshots of it are literally on the ad page for it. So I don't know. This is just an interesting thing to me that I think brings up the whole conversation of curation, whole conversation of how are these companies vetting the games that are releasing on their shop. Obviously, I don't think Microsoft's vetting anything. I don't know that Sony's vetting anything. And Nintendo, I know a lot of you guys have had questions about because of some of the interesting shovelware games that have appeared on Nintendo Switch's eShop, which granted, I have openly said I don't think there are as many of them as people think there are, but they do exist. And you have to question how Nintendo is allowing those games to kind of pollute the eShop, even at a smaller percentage. Like some people think it's like 75% of the games in the eShop. I think it's more like 5 to 10%. But even at 5 to 10%, how is this happening? I know shovelware is something that's always going to exist on every platform, but it just feels like there could be a better job done. And in this case, Microsoft needs to at least do the bare basics of making sure it's not an illegal ROM from a Chinese company. But it is what it is, and I'm sure this will be taken care of swiftly within a day or two. We have Monday, a new business week starting up, and I know that it's New Year's Eve and all that stuff coming up here, but I'm sure this will be taken care of within 2 to 3 days, and we won't really update when it happens because it's very obvious, just like with Soulja Boy, that this isn't going to stand. This is going to go away. Nintendo and Microsoft will figure it out and correct it, but just because they're going to get rid of this game, especially in the United States, and I'm sure Microsoft might even just as an act of kindness remove it from China as well, even though the laws are different there. Despite all of that, I do think that we need to start holding some of these places a bit more accountable for actions like this. I'm not saying that go and get really, really mad at Microsoft here. What I am saying is that Microsoft, we expect better of you. Nintendo, we expect better of you, and Sony, we obviously expect better of you. Same to you, Steam as well, the Epic Game Store, Origin from EA, Ubisoft's Uplay, all of these open access stores, we expect you to at least do the bare basics and make sure illegal ROMs aren't being sold. So there you go. Anyways, I'm Nathaniel Rovajans from Nintendo Prime, and thank you for checking out this video on Lep's Craft World, aka Super Mario Brothers from the NES on Xbox. Let me know if you know of any other instances of this happening in the past that maybe we missed and maybe we didn't cover that would make for an interesting conversation, and what you think these companies could do better in curating their stores to prevent this and to maybe limit even more the amount of shovelware we see on all of these various platforms. Anyways, folks, I'm Nathaniel Rovajans from Nintendo Prime, and if you like this video, you know what to do, and if you dislike the video, hit that dislike button. Be sure to enter our Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Nintendo Switch Bundle giveaway down to the Gleam.io link in the description, and yeah, it's absolutely free. You just have to subscribe to enter. Anyways, I'll catch you in the next one.